Hello. Yes, I'm a little bit early this week. Stuff to do at the weekend, so I thought I'd jump in quickly. And given it was the most appalling week in comics, i.e. I had two to pick up, I thought I'd talk about Brightest Day. Issue 19 is out this week. I've not read it yet. It's not really a I must rush to read it kind of comic. As any of you know that have seen previous videos, I am not the greatest fan of Brightest Day, and yet I'm still picking it up and I'm on issue 19. Hey, anyway, so yeah, Brightest Day. We've got this 26 issue kind of maxi series that comes out every 2 months. It's following on from Blackest Night, and it follows the events of the 12 resurrected characters from the previous event, and we are introduced slowly but surely into the reasons why these particular superheroes have been resurrected, and supervillains, I hasten to add. And throughout the run we get episodic glimpses into how their story is progressing. So, you know, of the 12 characters, we've got Aquaman. What we find out as we progress, and it did progress at the very start very slowly, is that the White Lantern has resurrected these 12, and they have to complete these missions in order to complete the resurrection. And there were some very cool moments at the start, especially with the character, again, I don't particularly know anything about and I didn't particularly like, but it was very cool seeing Aquaman look into the water, and looking up at him is his Black Lantern version, or when he went swimming everything would die around him. And that was quite a very cool concept, one that has been, you know, lost way back. But basically they've all got these missions. So we've got Aquaman. He has to enlist the new Aqualad before somebody else does, and by that I guess they mean Black Manta. We had Captain Boomerang, who has to, his is just throw the boomerang. We had Hawk, sorry, of Dove and Hawk. He has to catch the boomerang. Hawkman has to close the dimensional gateway between Hawk World and Earth, which we saw last issue, he did. And of course Hawk Girl has to stop Half-Set from killing Hawkman. That's all been a done deal. Jade, her is to balance the dark. Again, a lot of these were very, not necessarily cryptic, but could have been misleading. It's like we still haven't got to the point Captain Boomerang throws the boomerang at Dove, so he could just go like that, and you know, Hawk just has to catch it. That could be their mission accomplished, but obviously there's got to be something more behind it. What else have we got? We've got Jason and Ronnie, the two lads that are the Firestorm. They have to defeat the Black Lantern Firestorm. We've got the Martian Manhunter, who's got to burn a forest down. Maxwell Lord has got to stop Magog bringing about Kingdom Come, the Kingdom Come event. Osiris has got to free Isis. Professor Zoom has got to release Barry from the Speed Force, and Boston Brand has to find a new champion for the White Lantern. Because it's dying, which is, you know, for a title called Brightest Day, there's a lot about death in here. Now, of all those missions, not a lot of them actually happen in Brightest Day. I think Captain Boomerang has had a glimpse, no more than a page, and I think I might have actually read that in another title. I'm not entirely sure of that. Jade we've never seen there. Maxwell Lord, okay, that's being centred on in Generation Lost, the JLA title. Never seen Osiris yet. Professor Zoom, well, he's already done that because I think he did it in Flash Rebirth. Didn't read it, but didn't care. So there's still a lot of elements that aren't actually in the title. Now, in some ways that's a good thing, and in some ways that's a bad thing. It's a good thing because what we do have in the Brightest Day title is just so fragmented that to add even more into that would just cut it up even more to shreds than it already is. So, they're all the missions, and you have to wonder, really, what is this title trying to achieve in the end? What is going to be the end result? Obviously it's going to have knock-on effects from when the issue finishes, but still, you know, there's got to be some sort of conclusion and end to the title. Not so much, you know, a conclusion, but, you know, a satisfying end. I don't think we're going to get it, but so you think about this. I mean, Johns has said on the record that this is all about second chances. So that's why these 12 characters have been resurrected. This is their second chance. Now, why some villains will be given second chances, only Johns knows that. I do honestly think the people he's picked, this has been a bit of an ego trip, an indulgence. He loves these characters and he wants to bring them back, and this is his way of doing it. But in saying that, to be honest, I would be really disappointed if all the characters completed their missions and they all came back. I would not, it would be a travesty if every single one that came back survived. It would be pointless. You might as well have just said, yes, this White Lantern's resurrected you, now toddle off. In fact, that would have been, I think I might have appreciated that. It would have certainly been a lot cheaper on my pocket. But you do, I mean, again, you do have to wonder at the end of this event. I mean, we had Blackest Night event. We thought it was all over and, you know, life in the DC universe would settle down and, okay, you had these resurrected characters. You know, you might get some off-spin, some new ongoing titles where they dealt with their new resurrection. But no, DC has to have its big event, so it had Brightest Day. I mean, Christ, what are we going to get next? Foggy Morning? The big Foggy Morning event, yes. Everyone wakes up this morning and there's a strange mist. But through that mist, the 12 resurrected superheroes. Oh, I don't know. It is just ridiculous. I really don't see the need for this title. And especially given what I found out just lately. I mean, I had already heard that there was going to be a new Hawkman title. So, him being resurrected and his mission, that could have been the first story arc of his ongoing title. And you could have had Hawkgirl in there, which, you know, is obvious. Now I heard Aquaman's getting his new title and there's going to be the whole Aqua War thing going on. Again, they could have just taken all of that out of Brightest Day and that could have just been told if you were interested in Aquaman in that new ongoing title. I mean, let's look at the others. Okay, we've got Maxwell Lord. He hasn't been in Brightest Day. I think we've had a glimpse, if that. But his story is obviously being told out in the mini JLA Generation Lost, which is fine. Well done. I mean, Jade's in JLA, and, you know, that could have been a story arc within JLA. I wouldn't have cared because it's dropped now, can't bear it. And obviously Martian Manhunter, I mean, God knows JLA need, you know, a proper prominent figure within their ranks at the moment. So he could have easily slipped into JLA and had his storyline in there. And of course Professor Zoom, Captain Boomerang, they could have run out their storyline in Flash. Obviously Hawk and Dove, they're being seen in Birds of Prey. We are seeing a little bit of glimpses of how they are dealing with, well, Hawk's resurrected life. I mean, the only one I am so interested in and would love to have a new ongoing story title, because he was a character I knew about but never really got into, and that's Deadman, Boston Brand. I would love to have him have an ongoing title. That would be a dream. It really would. So, it has annoyed me that we've had Brightest Day come out when I don't honestly think it was necessary. I think DC clearly missed the boat here. And could have made a few more bucks, really. I mean, there's no denying that Brightest Day has been good for DC sales-wise, but it's very misleading, and I swear, and you know, it's obvious they've done this deliberately, in that they've thrown a lot of very differing type of superheroes and villains that some people might like half of them, and some people might like the other half, and some might like a few of each. So you have got a huge net of comic book fans who are going to buy this comic, if only to read the tiny bits of their characters that they like. So, as I said, it's been very misleading. Whether they've had some good feedback about Hawkman and Hawkgirl, seeing them back, about Aquaman, and that's led them to putting on these new ongoing titles, who knows? If they'd come out straight away, would they have done as good? No, because only a fraction of those people reading Brightest Day would just read Hawkman and Hawkgirl, or Aquaman. So it would be like most titles, it would last about, I don't know, 12 or 13 issues, and then it would be cancelled due to poor sales. But hey, I mean, for all my gripes about this, Johns does tell a good story. He does, it's obvious. But unfortunately, it's all flawed due to the way it's set up, this episodic nature, where you will get a snippet of one character storyline and not hear about it for at least another 3 or 4 issues. And the momentum is lost. And that's really where DC, for me, slipped up with Brightest Day. There are no big wow moments. You're not like, oh my god, that just happened. I don't feel that has ever happened. The only one that it goes even close to is when one of the first times that Boston Brand is transported by the White Lantern ring, and you had that huge splash page of him confronting the Anti-Monitor. That was almost a wow moment, but I think that was more to do not so much the storytelling, but the artwork by Tomasi, which, you know, you cannot fault most of Tomasi's artwork. It is very nice to look at. So that really is my thoughts on Brightest Day. Given that this has been a shit week in comics, the only other title I did buy was Superboy. I still haven't read that yet. But I just had to get this Brightest Day thing out of my system. I really did, and I'm glad I have now. I'd love to know, if anyone's reading it out there, what they think of it. Any more comments. All the views that I'm getting, all the comments, they are so much appreciated. If this is your first time, go back and watch some of the old ones, get a feel of what I'm like on here. Subscribe, God please subscribe, rate it, you know, thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll work out what it means, and just enjoy comics. Take care.